Hi everyone, Amy, Jack, Tom here from MOR Motorsport. We just wanted to share with you some of the highlights from Finke 2019. There was actually a bigger highlight than racing Finke. Which was we finally got married, and that's always a fun thing to squeeze in a wedding and also think prep, but hey, some people dream crazy dreams and put themselves in fun times. And the wedding, obviously it was great. We did incorporate the truck into the wedding as well, and then it was just great to have friends and family around and celebrate all night.
So after that, obviously down at Alice, after we did our couple of days worth of packing, a lot better than last year. It wasn't all done in one night, so a lot less stressful. But yeah, got down to Alice in good time and then have a little bit of downtime until the street party. So after we got there, we ran into Benny Bish and stirred him up a little bit because he had a go at Amy. Did you want to explain that one? I think.
Sure. So we love Benny. He's great, but last year he made a little bit of a faux pas, I would say. He was just chatting about Jack and Dean being at the Finke start line of day 2 and mentioned that obviously I'm Jack's partner, but I was probably at home baking scones. Really don't know why he thinks I bake scones. I can barely boil eggs.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
You know, he's got big dreams for me, I guess. But had to set him straight this year that I was going to be co-driving and definitely not baking anything.
Yeah. So I turned around and you guys were up on the big screen.
Yeah, so yeah, after we were gobbing off with him, he dragged us off out into the centre there during the intermission on the Showtime FMX, and yeah, did a quick interview with us. Just we gave him a bit of an update on where we're at, and yeah, that we were well prepared and ready to give her a crack this year. But oh well.
Good fun.
Yeah, so after the street party, we obviously had scrutineering the next night, but we went to Desert Park.
Yeah, Desert Park was awesome. I mean, I haven't even been to the wildlife park, so I don't have anything to compare it to, so I'll have to make my way down there one day. But yeah, the Desert Park was awesome. I got to see the flight show, which was really amazing, just outstanding work. And yeah, got some cool photos and...
Yeah, it was great to see the different birds they have down there, then up here, and they also, you can walk through their park and they've got some great little bird aviaries and things happening. It was a good morning.
Nocturnal House is great too, and so were the other exhibits,
yeah.
But unfortunately we could have spent all day there, but we just didn't have time. We knew we had scrutineering coming up, so, and that's a huge night for us, so we got the truck all ready to go, made sure it was nice and shiny, and then got it to scrutineering. So
yeah, spent a long time handing out stickers and hats, and yeah, it was insane. It was the first scrutineering night I've ever been to, so it was, yeah, absolutely amazing. It was great fun, meeting all different people and meeting other teams.
Yeah, it was good, all the photos as well, and we were lucky enough, well, not lucky, but it was awesome. We were the only ones to have those huge teardrop banners, so we just stood out heaps. And I don't know about you guys, but I had a heap of fun, and we're just camera magnets dancing in front of the camera and all sorts of things, getting caught on it. But yeah, and of course conversing with people, showing Mini MOR off for the first time in person to everyone. So
yeah, Mini MOR ripped it up there.
Filling someone's shoes in with sand.
Running over their toes.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry.
But yeah, so no, we got to do that, and just heaps of traction. We had about 30 to 40 kids in the car taking photos of mum and dad, so that was really good to give them that experience. And yeah, of course, getting them into the cars and having a look and trying to persuade them to move into desert racing as they get older. But No, so
Right underneath the start-finish line, we've got some more of our, we class them as locals. They're, 1,500 k's up the road, where it's a little bit warmer at the moment, but hey, this is the place to be for the Tatts Finke Desert Race. I say hello to Jack and Amy here for the big race, of course. Jack, first of all, mate, this is your second time here in the big Commodore. Looking forward to it?
Yeah, definitely. We're definitely make sure that we get up and down this year, and see how we go.
Now, you were saying, 2 years ago you were here?
Yeah, so a couple of years ago we were here just as doing a bit of a recce, I guess. We didn't have the car down or anything like that. Trying to get a gauge of what we were in for, but we come back 2018 and we hadn't prepared at all, basically. So, taking all those lessons from last year and pulled them into this year, and give another crack.
So in the Commodore, were you last year?
We're in our VE Commodore, and same this year with a few improvements. So
looking forward to it. Now you've done something silly. You've put the boss in the silly seat with you. How's that going to go for you?
We've written left and right on her gloves, so she can't bugger it up, and we'll see how we go.
Good on you. So we talked to Amy now. Welcome to Alice Springs, first of all. Nice and cold?
Very chilly, thank you.
Now, a little bit of history here. Not history, a bit of a story. These guys have been married 1 week, isn't it?
25th of May, we said the I do's, and now we're here getting ready to cross the start-finish line.
Hey, what better way to have a honeymoon than down here in Alice Springs at the Tatts Finke Desert Race? Look, you're looking forward to being in the passenger seat?
I definitely am. I can't wait to race. I've heard lots about it, and I'm sort of just ready to get in and go.
Look, I know you're going to enjoy it. It's a grueling race, but we got to get through prologue first of all tomorrow. How's that going to go for you?
Well, hopefully better than last year. We want to finish with all 4 wheels turning, so definitely looking forward to that. Getting a great place to start on Sunday.
Now, you were just saying before, you got a little bit of a giveaway here tonight. We'll just quickly plug this one.
So we're lucky enough, our sponsors Auto One have gifted us a remote control trophy truck, mini MOR. If you jump on our Facebook page, you can enter the competition. Come see us at the truck if you want to check it out. Come say hi.
Awesome. There you go. Some great local club members, like I say, down from Darwin, but now part of the Alice Springs Off-Road Race Club. Great to have them down here. Guys, best of luck for the 2019 Tatts Finke Desert Race.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rod.
Awesome. There's a couple of great people there. So, look, if you want a little bit of a freebie, go to the Facebook page, the Auto One Facebook page.
Auto One or MOR Motorsport.
There you go. That's the one you got to look for, and you might get a little freebie. We'll be back with a little bit more right after this.
The morning of prologue is a cider lap for all the car competitors. So this is when we all get the chance to cruise around in pretty low speeds. We don't even have to take our vehicle that we're going to be competing in. Some people just take out a support vehicle, a push bike, and others have already taken the opportunity to walk the track at any point during the week. It's open for walking. So we went out in our truck. It was actually the first time that we were both fully kitted out with everything, fully connected to the air and our comms and all those sorts of things. So it was a good test for all that, and obviously it let us check out the track a bit as well.
Yeah, so we already knew our start time, which is about 10 o'clock, I think. We're 4 prologue.
Yeah.
So that was with all the other class 4. We never went out for winning for gold or anything like that. We just wanted to feel the track out. and it was fine. We still got the truck back without any major dramas, and we
Probably
knew.
looked faster than last year as well.
Yeah, exactly, and on all 4 wheels turning,
Yeah.
so
Always.
that's always a win. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting to cross that finish line with no problems.
Yeah. So we also got to test out Amy's bracelet of shame too, which didn't work out very well.
Yes. The bracelet of shame came about because I am not fully dressed until I'm holding a pink microfiber cloth in my hand. What happened when we were getting dressed for prologue is that I put it in my pocket while Tom was helping me get all belted in and connected and everything else. And so by the time we crossed the start line, this was only in the side lap, luckily, but we crossed out into the track and it was quite cold in the morning, so we fogged up our helmets. And Jack was like, "Hey, where's that pink cloth at?" And then I realised it was in my pocket.
No.
So Tom decided that he was going to gift me a bracelet of shame.
So it's just a chain link of zip ties. It didn't actually end up working out, unfortunately, but it was enough to trigger Amy's mind and give us something to remember. But no, again, just something else that we'd learnt. But yeah. Anyway, after prologue, we took we took the car back to Alice Springs Towing, where all we needed to do was sort out a brake issue. There was something wrong with the front calipers, but and to give the truck a wash, that was it. But turns out we'd actually, unfortunately, bent an arm as well, so we were there a little bit longer than what we needed to.
Definitely.
Yeah, or anticipated, yeah, sorry. We needed to be there. All we did was we were lucky enough to be able to jack the arm back into place and then brace it off with some 2-inch chromoly welded nicely in. Did a little plate on the bottom as well to make them solid, and yeah, they lasted quite well, so.
Yeah, well, there was no dramas at the end of day one, so.
Yeah. But after that, we still got back in daylight, so didn't do too bad at all.
Yes.
No, not at all. It was only like 5 o'clock by the time I think we left Icos. So
yeah. So it wasn't too bad at all, and all we wanted to do all day was throw the Nerf ball around, so we actually got to do that. Yeah.
We did. And we got to
Half
meet
hour.
Betty.
And Betty, the big dog.
Betty,
Yeah.
the big old dog.
I know, that was quite cute. But yeah, and that was our scrutineering day.
So that brings us to day one of the race, and myself and Mikey and Jack's parents, we quickly unloaded the truck and then we pieced it out of there and drove around, I guess, the long way, which was definitely a good choice because it saved a lot of heartache with the trailer.
And time as well.
And time, yeah, it didn't take anywhere near as long as driving down the service road. So we unfortunately didn't actually get to see you guys leave off the line, but it meant that we got there in one piece and
and did the support crew thing. Of course, Greg and the family were already down there.
That's it. The Muse, they come up from South Australia to be support crew, and they go down to Finke the night before, so they hang around for scrutineering. They hang around for prologue, and then they duck down to Culgra and in as well.
Of course, we lined up on the start line, we just nosed our way in, and they started. It was really strange how they did it though, because we're like lined up and everyone's like checking our number and that sort of thing, and then officials are just there, just like, let's go, and we're just sort of like, all right, no worries. We drove in, and
More big arms hurry up there down here. We're like, what's happening? Surely it's not time. Like,
yeah. So up next to the side by side, and so gave it hell. They got us in the cauldron, but we hit that first set of whoops, and see you later.
Yeah, and Dad couldn't see it, but when we'd been lined up next to them, I looked over because I could check, and I looked over, and I was getting like these ones from their little side by side, and he was doing this one, and he was like pointing at himself, another one, I was like, nah, we're one. So yeah, proved that I was correct.
Yeah. And after 30 overtakes, we definitely proved that I was correct. There's some wicked bits of footage. Cut them in here.
Insert.
Alright, and we're back. So, as you see, we're giving it hell, but in one of those videos, you can actually hear the truck not being too healthy. So the car, and when I say that, I mean the car still looked good. The engine sounded great, but what we noticed after we got down to Finke, and we'll talk a little bit more about that afterwards, but our engine mounts had actually broken free. So we were up on top of the whoops, but we had this terrible noise the whole way down. But anyway, I'll talk more about that later. So, like I said, we had that wicked rundown.
Yep. So what I started to really hate hearing come out of Jack's mouth was, "I've lost power steering." And then he would ask, "What's the temp doing?" And I would say, "Nothing," thinking, if we pretend nothing's happening, it will be fine.
Are you sure about that?
The temp likes to go up quite quickly once there's no belt going.
Yeah, so of course we're not driving water pump, therefore no water flow, therefore overheating motor. So quickly pulled over, got out and had a look, and the belt had just slipped off in this instance. It may have been split. I honestly didn't look that hard because we were just
couldn't see the whole
couldn't
thing.
see it. We thought it was all right. So Amy got on the spanner, held the tension down, threw the belt back on, back in, kept going. So the two screws on my side, the two bolts there, had actually come loose and come out. So what that meant is that the bonnet had come up on my side. Luckily enough though, we run the GTO bonnet, and I'd actually cut the two vents out on the bonnet just for a little bit of aero, but that actually proved itself to be really handy to me because I was able to look through the little vent, which is only about yay big as we're cruising over the whoops. But like I said, we got sick of that, so pulled into Mount Squires, and an awesome bunch of blokes Amy got to scream at, and I won't forget, I was like thinking about disconnecting the comms. It was starting to get painful, but yeah, they grabbed some zip ties out for us, put the bonnet back down, and we kept going. So that was really cool. Didn't have to get out of the car. Thank you so much to those guys.
Legends.
But yeah, so we kept going. Unfortunately, we threw another belt. This time it was destroyed though, so we quickly cut off our spare that we had right next to Amy, threw that on, kept going, and then we hit the 180 and we pulled into a father-son camp, and we'd already destroyed both of our belts at this stage. So we basically picked the best one that we had, and those guys, thanks again to our spectators, but they quickly cut all the dags off the best belt we had. I think it had 2 ribs left on it. And then yeah, we decided that we'll just limp in. We had enough time, so we just cruised along, and what cars hadn't overtaken us by then, unfortunately did, but that's the nature of the beast. We got into Finke, we didn't time out, and we didn't bin the truck, so that was okay. And of course, Tom saw us coming over.
Yeah, we were all standing at the tabletop waiting anxiously for the car to come in. Because we got there and we thought, oh, surely they'll be here by now. And then we drove past the camp and there was no car. And so we quickly ran up to the tabletop and we were standing there looking at our watches. It came up to the 3.5 hour mark, and then I think a couple of minutes after that, you guys came rolling in, Grover up your ass, with this very loud, obnoxious bonnet. And
no, it wasn't Grover, it was the Rangy.
It was
the
the
Green
Green Rangy, yeah.
Go, Jackie! Fucking up it, son!
Broken. No, that's almost bonnet.
Come on! Come on!
We saw you guys go over, and then so we raced down to meet you and bring you into the camp, and then that's when all of the dramas started.
Somehow.
Alright, we're down at the Finke and we've come in, luckily under time, but it did take us. Unfortunately we had to limp in from the 180 mark. We've had a few issues, a few bends, bumps, other bits and pieces happening.
Yeah, we kept destroying our fan belt, so the one that we've got left on it is a little bit worse for wear, but we limped home, as Amy said, under time, so we've got tomorrow to try and make up some places. But before that, we were just singing. The truck was awesome. Everything felt good. We were working well together. The dust is pretty bad out there, but it's desert racing, so yeah.
Otherwise, all good. Get this baby fixed and back tomorrow.
Yep. All right, thanks guys. Catch you later.
What was the count in the end? Power steering, pump, engine mounts, starter motor, shock, bushes, wheel hub.
I think that was about it.
That was the major bits.
But yeah, that meant we were up until about 3 in the morning. We sent you two to bed at about midnight, didn't we?
Yep.
And yeah, we finished off the truck and got it ready to go, and got a couple hours sleep.
Yep.
I was very dead in the morning.
Yeah, welcome to racing though, and thank you guys so much. Like, of course, we are a team. Everyone's got their part.
That's it. That's what we're there for. So yeah, no, it was good. And yeah, at the end of the day, it meant that you guys were ready to go day 2. So
yeah,
we did our jobs.
So those guys, provided the best truck that they could with the time constraints that we had in our makeshift workshop. Another insert photo.
A top.
Spoiler
But
alert.
yeah, and then of course we, Amy and I idled down to the line for day 2.
Luckily, we'd had a couple more hours sleep than everybody else, so we were able to get up nice and early and attend the driver's briefing. That's where we learned our starting position for day 2. Pretty far back in the pack, but that was good because it meant that we had time to have some brekkie before getting back up to the start line. And then the nerves on day 2 were not like prologue or day 1. There was a lot of sort of pressure we put on ourselves to get to that finish line.
Yeah, do right by our team, and just get across that start line. Like day 2, unfortunately, is where we fell down last year, and this is our time to face the challenge and get over the line. But things didn't pan out that way. There's always next year. But yeah, so we hit the start line, making the truck scream again. Like I said, these guys, they'd given us the best truck they could with everything we'd done, and we were confident in her.
Yeah, it felt good. We both felt good. The truck sounded good. We were ready to go, but unfortunately...
Before that though, so we'd already started and we'd already made like about 5 overtakes. We were singing over the whoops. We finally got the right noises that we wanted without the banging.
Yeah.
So I'd welded all the engine mounts back on. So everything just felt so much better. The truck was heaps quieter, but yeah.
Was not meant to be.
Yeah. So about I can't remember where it was.
About 15 k's.
Yeah. Unfortunately, about 15 k's in. Again, I felt the power steering go, and I was like, "You cannot be serious." Asked Amy. She was like, "No, it's all fine on my end." Of course, it wasn't fine.
You just have to say that you're fine.
The temperature did hold.
You're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because...
Of course, it wasn't fine.
The temperature did hold for probably 5 to 10 seconds, and then it started to quickly climb before we had to drive out onto the support road.
And that made more sense because what I found, we got out of the truck, I had a look on one side, thought, okay, the belt might have just slipped off, maybe just being tired, we misaligned it or something along those lines. Like something silly, like of course we checked and double checked, but something might have missed out. But yeah, had a look, belt was fine on the driver's side, walked around to the passenger side. And it wasn't fine because the pulley was missing on the power steering pump. Now, the reason that we'd had 10 seconds more of water pump pressure or the temperature not rising was because the pump had obviously seized and the pulley was actually spun off by the belt. So, of course, our water pump was still turning. So that meant a long day for us of just getting towed back to Alice Springs, and then Dicko finally met up with us at Red Dinga, where we got tilt trade the rest of the way. But yeah, so of course that power steering pump ended our race. We just can't continue. We would have blown the motor. She would have just got too hot. So anyway, we got back, and what was really great is everyone's spirits was still up, and that was cool to come back to that, because everyone knew that we'd done the best that we could. And it honestly was, everyone had given their all, and it was really great to see that in our team, and it felt really, really special. So we all had a couple of drinks that night, and then of course got ready to go back to Darwin and head off back home for Steve and the boys going back to Albany, and then my parents as well heading back down to Denmark. So yeah, still of course everyone was a little bit down, but morale was still high, so that was really good, really special. I guess that brings us to now. So the truck's finally off the ground, off the trailer I should say, back on the ground. We're getting ready to start rebuilding and make sure we leave ourselves enough time to do some testing and sort the truck out. We'll put some more ponies in the motor and a few more dollars in the gearbox, I think. But yeah, so reassembling our team for next year, and
That's it.
We'll give her another hit. 2020, Fink, we're coming for you. You've had us twice. 3 times a charm.
Third time's a charm.
Alright, if you made it this far through the video, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that and it wasn't too boring. We are pretty boring and also the worst. But anyway.
And we weren't even drinking this time.
But again, massive thanks to Auto One, Valvoline, DBA, Balranald Motor Inn, and of course Alice Springs Towing.
And BPO Performance.
And of course BPO Performance. How can we forget you, Ross? Alright, but yeah, we couldn't do it without you. Same with our support crew and everybody else. So and the people of the Finke Desert Race community and volunteers. But yeah, thank you so much to everyone, and we hope to see you all again next year. Bye guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.
See ya.
Колбасер по пояс голый. Колбасер по пояс голый.
Late night, refuel, work socks, debut.